Hi everyone and welcome back to our last week of neuroscience literature. This week's topic is on a research article that I came across on Neuroscience News that finds the use of a non-intoxicating analog of cannabinoid used to treat seizures. There are three major classifications of seizures. Focal onset is specified based on the fact that a seizure will begin in one group of cells on one side of the brain. Generalized onset affects both sides of the brain or groups of cells on both sides of the brain at the same time. And for seizures that have an unknown beginning, they are classified as unknown onset. 1.2% of Americans experience seizures. This is 3.4 million people nationwide. According to Healthline, an online website that provides health information, 60% of epileptic seizures are categorized as focal seizures. So what exactly happens during a seizure? During a seizure, there are bursts of electrical activity in the brain. This has been compared to as an electrical storm. Grand mal seizures, also referred to as tonic-clonic seizures, involve a loss of consciousness and violent muscle contractions. The carbamazepine drug is a common anticonvulsant used to decrease nerve impulses that cause seizures and nerve pain. Now, there is a fine line between therapeutic intervention and substance abuse. It is said in the study that herbal cannabis and its products are usually used as a last resort for refractory epilepsy. Here are some important molecules relevant to the study. 8,9-dihydrocannabinoid is a synthetic molecule formed by the researchers. I'll be referring to this as dihydroCBD. Dihydrogen-CBD cannot be converted into the intoxicating tetrahydrocannabinoid. This is THC. This is not the case for naturally grown cannabinoid. Endocannabinoids play a protective role on central nervous system disorders, specifically with neuronal hyperexcitability. Synaptic transmission is regulated by the CB1 cannabinoid receptor. Herbal cannabinoids act as CB1 agonists, meaning they can help elicit an effect for these receptors. Application of CB1 receptor antagonists induces epileptiform activity in these models. There is no mechanistic interpretation of the action for dihydrogen-CBD in this context just yet because the protein targets have not all been identified. Now moving on to the study, research chemists at UC Davis believe they've developed an effective use of synthetic CBD to treat seizures. Here, the researchers induced seizures in their animal models to learn more on the associated behaviors. 60 male Wistar-Hun laboratory rats were randomly divided into 5 groups of 12 and received either vehicle and control, or vehicle plus dihydrogen cannabinoid. The vehicle comprised of ethanol, chromophore L, and 0.9% saline solution. The positive control comprised of 200 milligrams per kilogram of cannabinoid. Either 50, 100, or 200 milligrams per kilogram of dihydrogen CBD was administered. Each of these were administered via an intraperitoneal injection 1 hour before administration of the pentylene tetrazole convulsant agent. Here, 85 milligrams per kilogram of this, included with a 0.9% saline solution, was administered. Seizure activity was recorded for 30 minutes, and a modified Racine scale was used. Listed here is the scale along with the associated behaviors. 0 was scored for normal behavior, and 5 would have been scored for a fully developed tonic-clonic seizure. They found that significantly fewer animals that received CBD or dihydrogen CBD exhibited tonic-clonic seizures than compared to the vehicle-treated groups in both cases. Prophylactic administration of dihydrogen cannabinoid to rats significantly reduces tonic-clonic seizures and maximum seizure severity as compared to vehicle treatment. Now it's a question of why dihydrogen cannabinoid should be used instead of naturally extracted cannabinoid. Here are 3 concerns raised with the use of CBD. All marijuana extracts are controlled substances. These are decriminalized only for therapeutic purposes. CBD is derived by extraction, and through this, a wide range of impurities such as pesticides could be present. There are potential environmental impacts that can be harmful. For example, heavy water usage and pesticides may effluent the burden. Mark Maskell, a professor at the University of California, says that it's a much safer drug than CBD, with no abuse potential and doesn't require the cultivation of hemp. In the case of dihydrogen cannabinoid versus CBD, dihydrogen CBD is fully synthetic. It's not a controlled substance and may circumvent legal issues. The preparative approach is efficient, inexpensive, and scalable. It's easier to obtain in pure form. There's no need to cultivate marijuana and its attendant social and environmental concerns. Both enantiomers of dihydrogen cannabinoid have a comparable potency. There is no pathway from dihydrogen cannabinoid to THC, either in vivo or in laboratory. It's a safer alternative because it's not as controversial. There is a lack of abuse liability, and there's an absence of psychotropic effects. Thank you for watching, and these are my sources.